Good morning. It's
It's
Fri-Yay,
Fri-Yay,
get
get
together.
together.
Whoops.
Oops, there we go. Just wanted to say good morning, and I'm going to do my Fri-Yay get together this morning. Let me fix my camera. All right, let's see if I can get more of a view. This is also my work desk, so it doesn't get to stay as it should be when I'm doing my kits. So I have to do a little bit of rearranging to get everything together. So thank you for your patience. All right. Okay. Well, good morning again. And I'm Angela, Wild Violets Art. And I have been a little behind on my kits, my paper pumpkin kits, the monthly kits that Stampin' Up! Keeps providing. So I thought I'd start this back up and we can get going. So we have Thanksgiving coming up. I'm going to be going to Washington with my family, my side of the family. And we're going to be getting together with my mom and my sister, my brother, and their extended family. So I thought I would put together with love and gratitude paper pumpkin because I think it's perfect. I'm going to put something at each place setting, even though it's not my home. Some will have gifts, some will have a card, just letting them know how thankful I am for them in my life. So here we go. All right. So this is just a lovely paper pumpkin box, and I love the colors. And I started putting it together a while back. This is the little envelope. Oops, let me change these over. Okay, here we go. So here's the little envelope. Hey, Linda, good morning. Thanks for joining me. So I've made it just like they told me to, and I didn't change anything for it other than I wanted all of the verses to say grateful for you. So you can see some little glue dots hold it together. And I had made all the little tags already for the bags. So it's just perfect size for some goodies, some chocolates, and or anything else. Okay, so it came with a Lost Lagoon Stampin' Spot, and that's one of my favorite new colors. I love any shade that has to do with this really pretty blue-green. Let me just get my scissors out quick. And you can use the Stampin' Spot, and I just usually cut it on one side so that the lid stays on. I'm not a fan of taking the lid completely off, and I'll just flip it back and forth when I'm using it. It came with a roll of tearing tape. Now this is the little cards that you could do with it. And obviously I haven't put a message in yet, but isn't that paper pretty? It's really lovely. And then it's got the pumpkins. So the paper pumpkin kits are all inclusive except for the block. When you first sign up for Paper Pumpkin, you'll get a little block. Just like this, okay? So this is the block that you'll get with your first kit. And so you need to save it and make sure that you hold on to it because it'll be your block that you use for all of the stamps that come in it. Okay, so this stamp set, really lovely. It says, thanks with love and gratitude, grateful for you, thank you, and for you. And then it has some of now this is eucalyptus foliage. And then, of course, we've got the pumpkin and the little pumpkin stem. So a really pretty stamp set. And I feel bad that I haven't even done anything with this yet other than just the one. Okay, so these are some of the really pretty leaves. I've already punched everything out. And this is some of the gold foliage. Isn't that pretty? These are, I think, eucalyptus leaves again, but in gold. And then we've got all the pumpkins. So sweet. and then the foliage that goes with those. So these all came in sheets and I punched them all out. Okay, and then we've got the little cards and the envelopes. We've got glue dots and Stampin' Dimensionals, little mini ones. And we've got envelopes. And then we've got the gift bags. So let's take a little bit of time and put together some of the gift bags. Did you get your kit done for like this? I feel so bad that I haven't done anything, but been busy trying to unpack and get ready and catch my breath and actually also get my courage up to start doing these Facebook Lives again. Okay, so I should probably get the instructions out and show you that they give you step-by-step instructions. And it's been a while since I played with this, so it'd be good for me to remind myself. Okay. So here's the instructions. You've got the card up here, and then here's for the bag. So they want us to start like so, flip up the bottom. Now, if you want, I usually use my bone folder rather than my fingernails. You can braise your paper so that and everything should be easy because there are, if you look really carefully, you'll see that there are some, now let me turn more of the lights on. My husband's going to put up a light for me above my desk and I can't wait. I think you'll be able to see everything better, but they do have little score marks where everything gets folded. And so you want to be able to fold things before you start putting it together because it goes together a little bit easier. Okay, so let's go back to the instructions. Okay, so I'm going to put this flap up and this flap will stay down and I'm supposed to put tear tape on that according to the instructions. So works really easily. You just tear it with your nail. If you want to cut it instead, you can. Oops, this one stays down. And leave. It's the same. So this one here as well gets a little tear and tape. Good thing I'm paying attention. Been known to make things wrong. So we're going to head up to Washington State and we're going to go a day early because my mother's sister has passed away from cancer, which makes it for a little bit of a sad time. My mom is really struggling with that. You know, her and her sister, after her mom passed away, but I think her and her sister have been best friends for a long time. And I can't imagine that losing my sister. I wouldn't even want to think about it. Oops, I didn't do that right. Okay, so the little metal tabs go in first, and then this tab, and well, this one. And then I want this to be square before it adheres. Okay, so then I can take my bone folder, or you can take your scissors or something long, kind of push on this, and then it holds it. And then it has another score mark on each side, and you can squeeze it together, and then your bag flap will go over like that. This is a beautiful, beautiful bag. It's got a little gold foil here. Okay, so let's take a look at the foliage. And so I'm going to take one of the long gold ones. There's two different ones, a short one and a long one, and I'm going to do the long one for the front of the bag. And just make sure the bag fit in. think this will be the last one I put together on the bottom because I don't want to have any of them smashed in my luggage. And the box seems like it's just a little too shallow for these bags. So they're not going to travel well put together. So I may have to take it apart so that I can leave it flat like this and still decorate the tab. So this is how it'll travel, and then I can put it together when I get there. Okay, so this is the gold foliage. There's two sides, and they want me to do some glue dots down the front of it. I better do it like they're showing me so I don't get it confused. All right, so I just use my fingernails, but if you don't have fingernails, you can use a pair of scissors to get the little backing off of the tear and tape, or sorry, not tear and tape, but the glue dots. Okay, so I'm going to use this and place it over the top of it. I want some of that gold to show up, so it peeks out around it. And then I'm going to use this back here. Just putting 3 of them behind. And I'm going to put this about right here. And then I'm going to, like these ones are for the cards. Okay. All right, so these are labels. There's labels for the bags. And then there's labels for the cards. And so I've already done the cards, so I need to do the labels. Okay. I'm going to use the grateful for you. Because that is, I'm not doing a thank you, I'm doing something for Thanksgiving. So the nice thing about the photopolymer is you can just place it where you want it. And let me make sure this is where you can see it. All right, so I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to pick it up with my block. Okay, I'm just going to, actually I'm going to rub this a little bit with my fingers because the photopolymer, when they're brand new, sometimes they don't pick up the ink like I want them to. So I'm opening it up. Getting the greeting. I love photopolymer because you can see what you're doing and you don't have to worry about guessing where your verse is. The rubber have their good part too, but my favorite is photopolymer. So I've got a bunch of these bags, so I might as well just pick these all up at once. Of course, you have the option of doing thanks, thank you, for you, and then there's a verse that's with love and gratitude in a different font. So we were supposed to go see my mom and my sister and my brother for Christmas last year. But for those of you that have been following me for a while, you may recall that my husband was very sick with blood clots and in and out of the hospital. And it was best that we didn't travel on airlines while he was recovering. They didn't want him getting another blood clot. Since then, he's definitely done better. They put him on a different blood thinner because I guess the one that he was on before had a failure. And so we've been able to travel again, and so we're doing okay on flights. He just has to get up and walk around, and it's not a very long flight. It's about 3.5 hours up to Washington State. Actually, maybe even less than that because it's a direct flight. So there's usually typically one extra of each of the labels when you get your kit, so that's always nice. Okay, so let's get this one on, and we're going to put 3 of these on the back. And I'm going to put it right here with a little bit of the stem sticking out. And then dots right here on the inside of the flap. And there we go. There's the bag. Isn't that cute? And then you can just pull it away. The glue dots don't really stick very hard. So got 2 of these little bags done. So really pretty. Alrighty, let's do the card. Okay. So again, it gives you instructions. We're gonna ink up the eucalyptus leaf and stamp it around the edge. That's a great way to just get some really pretty background on your card. We've already done the verse. I have these verses here. And actually, when I put this together, I wasn't paying attention and I didn't get that stamped around it. So I'm going to open this up just so that there's less. And put the foliage here. So the nice thing about Stampin' Up, their kits are actually they are based on the colors that you can get full size. So in other words, this little Lost Lagoon Stampin' Spot is also in a full size pad. And when I'm using bigger stamps, that's what I prefer. Let me show you how you would do it. So with the small one, again, I'm going to rub it with my finger because it seems to have some sort of a finish on the surface that causes it to always pick up the ink like it should. Okay. So with a larger stamp, with the Stampin' Spot, you would just pat it, and you can see that it'll ink it just fine, but it's a little faster just to use the bigger one. Okay, so I'm just going to, and I'm stamping off the edge. Looks like I need to hold it down a little bit better. There we go. Wonder if I can do this again and get it exactly in the same spot. Ooh, lucky girl. Okay, it just shows the 3, so that's what we'll leave it at. And then after you do that, they want us to put some blue dots in the back of the foliage, the gold foliage. And 3 of them. See, I'm using my fingernail, so this one goes up here towards the top. And then I'm going to put the 2 leaves. So you can see these 2 leaves. I'm going to put those next. And those need 4 glue dots on this one. Okay, and then this one goes about right here. Then I'll put the 2 pumpkins. These are going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So the big pumpkin goes first. Take the backing off the dimensionals. So about right here. And then, so when you have these little Stampin' Dimensional pads, I like to use every little bit. So I will sit there and clip around the edge so that I can use all of them. Okay, so here's the next little pumpkin, and it's going to need some dimensionals and then 1 glue dot where it overlaps on this other pumpkin. Okay, so you can see there's going to be a little bit of an overlap. I've got the dimensionals over here and then the glue dot over this part. Okay, so they want me to use glue dots. So this is tucked under here, but I like using, oops, wrong one. I like using dimensionals on my little greetings as well. So you can do it however you want to. I like a little independence. So I think right there. But we can switch it up. It doesn't have to be exact. So stamp this really beautiful envelope. It's really pretty. I think I want to stamp this one too. And I'm going to do it a different way. Do it however you want to. So let's make the next one a little different. I do want to do the background again. I'm going to open it up. Sure that I get all of the area this time. I'll be hearing my stomach growl. It's that time of day and I haven't had time to get anything to eat yet. Okay. So let's change things up just a little. A lot different, but just a little. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so glue dots on the back of this one, about 3. We'll secure it and keep it in place. So do you guys have any family favorites for Thanksgiving? Something that you enjoy making? One of the things, of course, that we always loved is mashed potatoes. My mother always called herself the potato face, or at least that's what she was called when she was little. And so she's a big mashed potatoes fan. And of course, my brother's a big mashed potato fan, and it's my husband and my son. Well, of course, that's huge staple. But do you like your yams plain, or do you like them in like a sugared candy jam solution? I am more of a plain yam girl, but I know there's some that just have to have their candied yams. What about olives? Is that part of your meal? Olives have always been a big part of our meals, but we don't necessarily like the black olives. We're a green olive family. And those are a little milder. They're not as bitter. So olives is one of the things that we like for Thanksgiving. And then, are you a pumpkin pie family or a pecan pie family? We never really had much to do with pecan pies. I like them, but boy, they're really rich. So it's small quantities, primarily pumpkin, but I am more of a fruit pie person. So I'm not a fan of cakes, but I do love apple pie with ice cream or whipped cream, something like that. What about stuffing? How do you guys make your stuffing? I know it's making me more hungry. So my stuffing tends to be in it, the merrier. I love nuts and berries, like cranberries. Um, I've even had um, water chestnuts, and I made a stuffing with that one year, and it was so delicious. Oh my goodness. I love that. I'm going to spend time on the plane filling out these little cards for my family. Explained that this kit makes 8 boxes and 8 cards. So yeah, it's 8 boxes and 8 cards. And here's some alternates that they show, because a lot of times the paper is so beautiful inside the envelope. I've been known to take the envelope apart and make a card with it as well. So there's all kinds of options. And if you're a Pinterest person, but also Paper Pumpkin always shows some alternatives. So you have options. You don't have to just do it the way it is. And if you've been getting Paper Pumpkin for a while, then you will have other colors of Stampin' Spots that you can use as well for whatever it is you're doing. So they always give you an example of what it looks like, but they also give you some alternatives as well. Okay. Um, that one seems like it's a little top heavy, doesn't it? So if you're careful and move things slowly, I think I'll leave the grading there. Put together a paper pumpkin on an airplane. I have done that. A really nice way to have a craft session while you're flying, because flights can be kind of dull and boring. I do typically take um, a book with me, so I love reading on a plane or listening to an audiobook. There's some other, this is a big question. Are you a canned cranberry fan, or are you a fresh cranberry fan? Or are you a cranberry jelly or whole cranberry person? I am a whole cranberry person, and I don't mind if it's from a can or if it's fresh. Obviously, the fresh tastes better, but I think from a can can taste just as good. But I like the whole berries or jellied. Either way, I just love having cranberries with my meal, my Thanksgiving meal. The funniest thing about Thanksgiving is seems like everybody wants to have a nap, and for the longest time, I couldn't figure it out. And then I started blaming it on the carbs. Maybe I'd eaten too many carbs. But come to find out, um, it's a chemical that is actually in the turkey that causes you to want to make or take a nap. So that's why everybody's snoozing all over the house after a nice big Thanksgiving meal. Many of my family are vegetarian. So my sister, bless her heart, is making a nice turkey. And then I think that my brother and his wife are probably doing something vegetarian. So to each their own. But I was raised vegetarian, so I seem to only be able to eat a little bit of meat. I'm not a big meat person. I can eat vegetables all day long. But meat, I can only have so much, and then I get easily tired of it. So, but I do like having turkey on Thanksgiving. Oops, this one is supposed to be a blue dot. So whipped cream on your pie or ice cream? I like both. If it's fresh whipped cream, that's got to be part of it. But I like vanilla ice cream as well, and that will make me just as happy. I'm going to do a little bit of tucking. Let's make a few of the bags. So like I said, I'm going to just put the tearing tape on here so that this one is the one that needs to have it over. So the first thing I should do is raise all these score lines. And I need to have and I'm just going to leave the tearing tape on. And that way, when I am there, I can prep these from the hotel room and have everything put together then. So what kind of chocolate should I put in these? Yes, ice cream or whipped cream does depend on the pie, but I can do yeah, whipped cream has to be on pumpkin pie. I don't think I've ever had ice cream with a pumpkin pie, but I do like my pies hot. Okay. Hopefully, you all have a chance to have family together. If you're traveling to family or if they're coming to you. But one of the things that I loved about this kit is it just gives me an opportunity to sit down. I do send Thanksgiving cards to my family, but it lets me sit down and just think about the things about them that I'm grateful for. And I know that sometimes, we get so busy. My mom's getting older, and with some of her siblings having passed away from cancer, you just don't want to skip any opportunity to let people know how much you love them. So even my little, or I should say little, my nieces and nephews, I've got 2 nieces and 2 nephews. I think only a few of them will be there. I don't think all 4 of them will. But they're very sweet kids too. So it'll be nice to be able to chat with them. Ooh, warm apple pie with ice cream. You're making me so hungry. My stomach is growling so bad. Oh my goodness. Looking forward to it. It's been a number of years since I've seen my family. So I'm just going to leave this like this so I can pack it in my suitcase, and hopefully these other bags come apart. So I'm going to let you have the rest of your morning. I'm going to go get something to eat, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you Monday. If you want to join me at 7:30 in the evening, I'm going to make a gift bag that can be used any time of year, but we're going to make it Christmas. And it's going to be out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So all you need is your 12 by 12 paper, and then obviously some ribbon for the handles, and some embellishments and a tag. So we'll have some fun on Monday. All right. Have a great day. Thanks, Linda, for joining me. And if you're watching this later on Facebook, on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to just pause it and rewind it where you need to if you need to see something again. And I'll see you again soon.